everyone. Welcome to episode number 5 of See You Next Thursday. We are going to be talking about ridiculous comments. So things across different social channels, different forums, things like that, different outlets such as the Daily Mail in particular. Just how ridiculous some of these comments are and how angry people can get over the most trivial things. And then we'll be moving on to sort of the best and worst advice that me and Jenny have ever received and that people have given us over the last few years. So cool. Do we want to start off with some of these comments? So we've been scrolling through the internet over the past week or so just to try and find something insane. So Jenny, do you want to crack on with what you found?
Yeah, my main source is Mumsnet, just because I love Mumsnet. Also interviewed, CEO of Mumsnet. Just a little brag there, but not that as relevant. Yeah, quite a lot. I mean, these people they message a lot, but let me try and read it quickly. So the first one I found, but it's also ridiculous comments as well as ridiculous articles and posts that we've seen. This one, the title is, Am I Ruining the Holiday? So this person says, dear partner has not said as much. So basically they all have a term when they talk about their partners or husband. It's like DP is dear partner, DH, dear husband, DC is dear children. I'm like, it's fucking weird. Just say my partner, my husband.
Yeah.
Anyways, dear partner has not said as much, but I just feel bad. We spent a lot of money on a much needed holiday as we've been super stressed. We booked a really remote, hot location with the plan being nothing but sunbathing. We've got here and it's freezing cold and it's expected to be until we leave. I feel gutted because A, we spent a lot of money. B, there's literally nothing else to do. And C, he suggested other locations that I said no to because I have been before and I should have gone for them as they're really hot right now. I keep mentioning the weather. Dear partner keeps telling me to make the most of it. It's done now. It's out of our control, etc. But I just hate being cold and there's literally nothing else to do. He told me off for looking at the weather and told me not to look again. But I'm just so annoyed. Also gutted as I packed only dresses. He goes on to say, also, I really wanted a holiday for us just to get away from everything as we've been so stressed. I said, let's just put our phones down for the week. Let's not talk about anything going on at home that's stressful. Let's talk about different stuff. But he keeps scrolling each time I even walk 2 meters away. He said I put too much pressure on the holiday by saying this. I then got upset during breakfast as he wasn't really saying much, and he said he felt pressured to make conversation. He also said he had 3 hours sleep and I wasn't being understanding. I just feel like a misery guts, but I can't help but be upset, and I don't feel like he's understanding. Am I unreasonable? So let's talk about what you think of this first, and then I'll talk about some of the comments that I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like they're in a shit relationship in the first place, to be honest. It's not going well if they're arguing about that.
Yeah, it's quite minor.
I mean, we all tell each other's partners off, get off your phone, blah, blah, blah. But you don't throw a hissy fit about it. You just sort of just fine, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are the comments saying?
The first comment was, if he wants to use his phone when on holiday, then why are you stopping him? And then a lot of people were just like, bluntly, yes, you are ruining the holiday. Stop with the rules and the moaning. You are where you are. Get your phone out and find something to do. Be proactive. Stop complaining. Your dear husband probably isn't talking much because all you want to do is moan. He doesn't want to repeat the same things over and over. An active with 3 hours sleep is not going to be on top form.
Yeah.
They're brutal.
Yeah.
It could be because they all these are anonymous, so you just make up a name, so you don't know who. So it could be the husband, but a lot of people would just be like, "You're lucky to be on holiday because you can afford it." So
I hate that comment. That's shit comment. That's the worst. You can afford it. Yeah, but it's not relevant, is it?
No, it's not relevant, but people can say whatever they want, right?
Yeah, true.
Like if you're prepared to post, then you should be prepared to get shitty comments.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. A lot of people just leave him with the phone. There's nothing so annoying as being forced to make conversation when you don't feel like it. And then other people are like, why are you with him?
Yeah, it's what I thought.
Yeah. It's just like mountains and mountains of people just commenting saying you're immature, you're an idiot, just leave him be, let him be. Yeah. That's the first one that I saw.
God, you gotta be proper thick skinned to deal with these comments because she probably thought she'd get a few supportive messages.
Yeah.
And now
I think
she's
that's what
going, no,
she.
you're the fucking problem. It's you. Let him go on his phone.
Yeah,
That's just
yeah,
probably sitting there on his phone, like smiling, just reading his
yeah,
phone.
exactly. Yeah. Thing is, if I was on holiday and it was raining, I would, be indoors, eat something, go gym, read a book. I wouldn't be moaning about it.
Yeah, it depends what kind of holiday it is as well. If you're just in a sort of hotel, there's only
Mm,
so much time you can just sit around not on your phone.
yeah, exactly.
There's not a lot to do, right? Even when it's
Yeah,
a nice day, you just sit on the beach on your phone, put some music
yeah,
on, whatever. So it's basically the same as reading a book, right? If you're on a book all day, you've got to put the book down as well.
exactly. It's almost like she wants 100% of his attention, but it's like, well, you're not really going to get that in
Yeah,
any relationship.
it's impossible. And if you do get 100%, then something wrong with them.
Yeah, yeah, weird.
Creepy. Yeah.
Yeah,
So open with my one.
yeah.
Right, so I'm scrolling through Twitter this morning. So I'm on my For You feed, so I get served stuff that I don't necessarily follow.
Mhm.
I follow Ricky Gervais, and he's liked a tweet that's come up on my feed. So this is Netflix continues its transphobic comedy spree with Ricky Gervais's Supernature. Right, straight to the comments. And we all in the first comment, and we all say thumbs up. Next one, good. Next one, cry more. Thanks for the reminder to go and watch it. Good for Netflix. They know what makes money. I love that Ricky Gervais like this. I don't think you understand comedy. Good on Netflix. It's great, brilliant, excellent. One of the best stand-up comedies around. Thanks for the reminder. I'll add it to my watch list. So it's like this article was obviously trying to bait out Ricky Gervais for being transphobic or whatever. Then it's a bit similar to that one really. This person probably thought, I don't really know who it is, just says Dodo, but I don't think it's a big account or whatever. Yeah, 6
Yeah.
followers.
Ugh.
But it's a bit like that one you just shared. She probably thought, oh, by posting this, I'm going to get loads of support. And really, in reality, everyone's just like, nah, fuck this.
Yeah, going for it.
Yeah,
Brutal.
no. Even the one literally beneath it, do you know Dan Walker, the old BBC presenter?
Yes.
He's on
Yeah.
Channel 5 now.
Yeah.
So he's tweeted saying, if an 11-year-old is brandishing a knife, is it okay to taser them? Right, you're setting yourself up for a lot of comments here.
Yeah.
First comment, sorry, is this an actual live situation you're in? Thankfully not, Bruce, he's replied. And one up next to that, what kind of sandwich are they making? For fuck's sake. But then
Fucking
you get
hell.
one, no, obviously not. And then the one after that, I don't think parenting is for you.
Oh.
Yeah, no,
That's
one,
a,
bit heavy for 9:20 in the morning, Dan.
yeah.
Yeah, so basically, like, it's just a lot of people, just on Twitter especially, they just tweet stuff purely for a reaction like that.
Yeah. 100%. It's like he knows that he's going to get a reaction.
Yeah, like why is it okay for an 11-year-old to brandish a knife? No, obviously not. Yeah, I could go on forever on these. There's some really good football ones actually, but I feel like you're not going to understand them, so I won't call them out.
Well, our followers might, but I won't.
Yeah, it's just abuse after abuse.
Okay.
It's like a similar thing. You basically post a controversial comment saying, "Oh, Arsenal are shit," and then everyone will
Right.
comment underneath saying, "No, they're not. Look at your shit." So, such a tit for tat sort of thing. I love
Oh
it.
my God.
I'm just trying to scroll through and find some other
That's really
ones.
like playground.
Yeah,
Playground
yeah,
chat.
it is very playground. Yeah, that's what I got for now. Have you got anything else from Daily Mail?
I've still got more from Mumsnet, man.
Oh, have you? All right, let's go.
This is quite a juicy one. Well, I think it's juicy, but maybe for you it's not. So the title is Maid of Honor. Was I being unreasonable here? And again, it's pretty long, but let me try and get through it. Trying to get an impartial opinion here, as this is starting to affect other family relationships, and I may just be becoming a bridezilla. I'm marrying my dear partner next summer in 2024 and had asked my best friend, who I'd grown up with, to be my maid of honor. Her mum and mine are also best friends since primary school, so we normally all see each other quite often. My best mate agreed to be my maid of honor quite early on, knowing that the wedding wouldn't be happening in the UK. She has now told me that she won't be able to make the wedding due to childcare issues. She's got 3 young kids. Her partner works full time, and she's a stay-at-home mum. Neither her partner or kids were planning to come, as the wedding date falls during term time and her partner wasn't able to get the time off, or invited though. So it would have meant her partner having the kids for the few days while my best friend came to the wedding. They all knew of this before she agreed to be my maid of honor. Now it seems he can't or won't take the kids for those days, and she can't find alternative childcare and isn't keen on leaving the kids while she travels or bringing them to the wedding. Cost isn't an issue for them. They're just quite particular who takes care of the kids. Given she had agreed to be my maid of honor, I was upset when she told me, which led to her essentially saying it's my fault that she can't come, that I should have expected this as I had chosen to have the wedding abroad. I've got no right to question her decision, and that because I don't have kids, I couldn't possibly understand, which is quite hurtful, as I would have understood if she just said she can't come and not agreed to be my maid of honor from the beginning. She's not apologized for anything she said, or not being able to make it to the wedding, or for letting me down as maid of honor. She doesn't believe she has done anything wrong. As a result, we're not talking anymore. It's having a knock-on effect as her mum has taken her side, and things are tense between her and my mum. Am I being unreasonable about not talking to her, and how I feel about this?
Bit of a piss take, innit?
Piss take as in from who?
The maid of honor not being there. Because you go organise all this stuff, right? But I'm guessing mum's there completely in favour of the maid of honor.
So let's see. Right, a few people are like, you are not being unreasonable. She is entitled to change her mind, but it sounds like she just wants to piss on your chips. Never heard that expression before. Piss on your chips.
Yeah, I think I've heard that a couple of times, maybe.
Oh, and this one was
rain on your parade. Piss on your parade.
Piss on your parade. So she said, another person said, you are being unreasonable. Weddings abroad are very selfish, far too much expense for the guests. A lot of people are saying, yeah, I mean, you should be pissed off because she agreed to say yes. And then a lot of people are saying, you're entitled.
Bit of a 50-50 one, isn't it?
It is. Because like her wedding's a year away. So she's got time to find another maid of honor. And it's not like she paid for anything. Nothing's been done.
Yeah. Tough one, isn't it? The things with weddings, people get so stressed, don't they? So they just want everything to be as they planned it. They don't want to make another choice, because then that's just more ag, isn't it? Because then if they did ask for another maid of honor, they're second choice, right?
Yeah.
No one wants to be second choice.
That's true. Especially if they grew up together, and her mum and the maid of honor's mum. A lot of people are just angry at her, saying, you are getting married in over a year away. Goodness, get a grip. Plenty of time to find another. Yeah, these mum's letters are fucking brutal.
It just sounds like the same people in Daily Mail, to be honest.
It does, doesn't it? I think it might be the same people.
It probably is. It's just people all day. They're signed up to every single thing, and they'll just comment.
Yeah. How would you feel if you asked someone to be your best man, and then they said they can't due to childcare issues? I think you'll be fine. Or not.
It depends. If I knew him well enough, I'd be like, well, I know you can sort baby. I know you can sort child things, like someone looking after him. So I know you chat shit.
Right.
Whereas if I know they genuinely struggle week in, week out, trying to get sitters, they haven't got a good support network or whatever, I'd be like, all right, fair enough. Or I'll just say, bring the kid. I want you there, so bring the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know really. I did have similar issue when I had my mate stag do, and initially I was organising most of it pretty much. So he sent me he made a WhatsApp group with all the people he wanted to invite, and there was like 16 blokes in there.
Yeah.
By the end of it, there was about 6, and initially about 12 agreed to go to this stag do, and I was trying to organise shit.
Yeah.
And I would say, oh, we need to put this bloke who's in. Like, we're doing a boat trip or something. And people just leave the chat. I'm like, this is like 2 months before the stag's happening. He made the chat about a year and a bit before the actual stag. People just leaving. I'm just like, fuck you lot then.
Yeah.
I messaged him like, you actually mates with these guys. And he's like, yeah, I don't know why they left the group. They haven't told me. I'm like, mate, when was the last time you worked with them? Oh, about 10 years ago. Oh, no wonder then. Just like loose friends. He just wanted to get the numbers up, basically.
Oh God.
So, but we had fun in the end. So.
Yeah, I mean, the whole point of a stag is you went and invite people that you actually have spoken to in the last, ideally, 6 months.
No, yeah, just you don't just some randomer you work with. Imagine if I did that. Christ.
Yeah.
Shit, stag ever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What are you doing for your stag?
Well, I'm not getting married yet, so
I mean, you've been engaged, right?
yeah. Well, it's not up to me, is it? It's up to the
Oh,
best
true.
men to
Sorry.
organise it.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I can make a suggestion, but whether I get that is another thing.
Yeah.
So,
True.
cool. I got one from Daily Mail, which is pretty good. Right. So it's not greedy to want a pay rise, is the opening sentence.
Hmm.
Terminally ill IBM worker who sued company for not raising his 54,000 salary while he was off work for 15 years claims he was just trying to take care of his family. So Ian Clifford, 50 years old, was signed off in 2008 on the grounds of his mental health. He was diagnosed with stage 4 leukemia in 2012. Obviously very sad. But he sued them for not raising his salary because he was off for 15 years. He said it's not greedy to want a pay rise, as he spoke of his fears for his family's finances. Okay, right. He had been guaranteed to receive 54,000 a year until the age of 65 under the company's health plan, meaning he will pocket more than 1.5 million. But last year sued the company because they haven't reviewed his pay, blah 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 blah. But they dismissed his claim, blah blah blah. So they're just gonna sue him. Okay, I get it, right? The thing is, unless you're in a situation, I don't know how this thing works. I don't know. Like I know people get signed off sick for other things, whatever. But to be
Mm.
terminally ill, wouldn't you just? I don't know how this works. I guess it depends on your company's insurance and their
Yeah.
policies and all this shit.
And what sort of
He-
health plan he's on?
yeah, I mean, he says he's had chemotherapy and he's been on it for many years and he's been extremely unwell.
Right.
Um, but let's go straight to the comments.
Yeah.
And what do we think the Daily Mail thinks of this man who hasn't worked for 15 years?
They would
Greedy,
be like,
greedy, greedy. He's definitely what you are. Get back to work then. The entitlement is beyond belief. He should be
oh,
thankful they still paid him. It is greedy and you are already paid over 50k a year for doing nothing. Move to a smaller house. Reduce the mortgage. Is he having a laugh? Joker. Most people, to be fair, this is a good point. Most people get statutory sick pay for 100 quid a week. You should thank yourself lucky for getting 54 grand a year for doing nothing. IT, ... Work from home. Just saying. Start how many holidays he's had. This is a touchy one, isn't it? I don't know. I
I mean,
mean,
poor guy's had leukemia.
yeah, he's literally dying. It doesn't say how long he has left though.
Hmm.
He's 50 years old and he's in stage 4, so I can't imagine. Let me see. They're right until recovery. And death to pay 74%. Who knows? Okay, so his original salary was 72 grand, but their IBM's policy is to pay you 75% of your salary until recovery, retirement, or death. So he hasn't recovered,
Oh,
so he's just constantly. I mean, you can't help that, right? That's just IBM's
no.
policy. He didn't choose to
Yeah.
get leukemia,
Yeah.
and like, of course you're going to rinse that. That's a
Yeah.
no-brainer. I'd do it. You do it,
Yeah.
and I guarantee all the people who've commented on this saying would definitely do that as well. There's no way they're going to downsize their house.
No. He's
Um,
got a family, I'm guessing, right?
yeah, that's what it says. Yeah, to help support his family.
But I mean, it's not greedy. It's he. I mean,
Yeah,
who
it's
knows?
just
Maybe his wife is a full-time mum.
yeah, and I bet half these people all took furlough when bloody COVID hit. They didn't have to take
Yeah.
furlough.
Yeah.
They still did it.
That's harsh, man.
Just reading the next article has made me laugh.
What's
I
that?
thought he was Mr. Right, but then I found a camera hidden in the bathroom. The horrifying discovery that shattered one woman's world but sparked her landmark legal battle to help other victims of voyeurism scrub the internet of secret images of them.
Oh, God.
Oh god, yeah. The
What's
comments are
that?
just like put his pictures everywhere, show him the world, show him the world, and he only got a 2-year sentence. This bloke.
Oh, God. So wait, her camera. She had. There was a secret camera installed in her home.
Yeah. So as she walked past her partner Stuart's computer one sunny autumn afternoon, Victoria's attention was caught by the picture of an adorable, fluffy black puppy on the screen. The
Oh,
couple have
thank
been
God you
together
said puppy.
yeah. The couple have been together for 18 months, and they talked about getting a dog. Blah blah blah. So
You're talking
Victoria,
about dogs here.
yeah. So Victoria couldn't resist clicking on the image of the black puppy. Stuart never left his laptop open, so it felt he almost wanted me to see, but nothing prepared me for what I saw next. Clicking on the image will ultimately lead to the folder Lead to a folder upon folder containing naked footage of Victoria, all taken without her knowledge by secret cameras dotted through their home. Fucking hell. This is great.
I guess
could
you
go
take
through
it
all
quite
these.
often then.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, that's good, Bence. Yeah, all the comments are actually agreeing with that. They're like,
Yeah.
what scummy man.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really say anything else. That's
Yeah.
oh,
That's great. I'm gonna be here all
I
day
mean,
if I go through these.
yeah, that's weird because why would he do that? It's like you're with the woman already.
He's probably got some weird fetish thing, isn't he? Let's be honest. Weirdos everywhere. Imagine that being with someone for like a year and a bit, and you just find this weird shit. Waste of time.
That was creepy. Okay, let's move on to another one. This one's also very weird, right? It's around parenting. I can't say the word about being a parent. The title is Son's First Girlfriend. My dear son is 16. He's met a lovely girl, also 16, and I want her to feel welcome. I'm tempted to have a woman-to-woman chat with her about how the house works. I mean,
how the house works.
Yeah. I'm a single parent, but I also have a guest house. I'm tempted to pull her to one side and say things like, I want her to feel at home. And if you ever need any, e.g. sanitary protection, don't be embarrassed. This is where I store them for the guests. So if you need it, help yourself. And this is where to find them otherwise. Would I utterly embarrass the poor girl or make her more comfortable? It's a sensitive subject for me, as even though I grew up in an all-girl household, these things were never discussed. But I'm also conscious that at 16, it's not always predictable, and I don't want to cringe the living bejesus out of her. I also intend to have a convo with dear son about it. We're close, but I'm conscious she might not want to discuss it with him. I'd rather have died at that age. Advice, please.
She kind of answered her own question.
Yeah.
She said, I would have died if someone had that conversation with me. Don't have that conversation then. That's for her parents to do. Don't.
Yeah. Exactly what people are saying. People are just like, no, Jesus Christ, no. Another one said, you're way too intense. Order a takeaway to share and play it low key.
What? You're going to bring that up
I know.
eating food?
Like, why? And a lot of people saying she will think you are a complete weirdo. You sound lovely, but way too intense. She will have been managing to be in households whilst menstruating for quite a few years by now, but she's 16. It's like, well...
Yeah, you start when you're what, 13? 14? I don't know.
11 for me.
I don't know. I actually don't know.
Yeah, I got you. Why would you know? Yeah, when I was 11 when I got my first period. But by the time I was 11 to 16, I carry sanitary towels.
Yeah, you know. Like, you don't have to like teach a 16-year-old.
It's just weird. Like, imagine you you brought Chi back home and your mum was like, "This is where the sanitary towels are."
Yeah. Do you know how to use it?
Shall I teach you?
Oh God.
Weird. Like, why? It's also, if I met my future mother-in-law and she said that to me, I'd be like, nah, that's a done deal.
Yeah, imagine me just come back from seeing her boyfriend and like, oh, my boyfriend's mum just like give me a lecture on whatever.
And how the house works. It's like, what do you think that she's gonna be a housewife? Like, what?
Yeah. It's the iron, is the stone.
Yeah, exactly. Get cracking. Yeah. What the heck? A lot of people are just like, you're being completely weird. Just let your son and girlfriend be a normal human.
Yeah. Simples.
Yeah.
God. I mean, we can go on forever with these. We might have to do another one because they're pretty good.
They are pretty good. I do have one more.
I'll go on then. Let's go.
Okay, so this one is titled, What is everyone doing on their phones in restaurants that can possibly be more important than speaking to the person they have made a dinner date with? And she goes, I'm getting irrationally annoyed by this. I see it all the time. For example, me and dear husband were at a big restaurant the other day. I could see about 16 other tables from where we were sitting. Apart from us and 2 other tables, everyone was scrolling through their phones and not talking to the other people they were out to dinner with. It makes me so sad. On one table, a couple spent the whole meal on their phones, whilst their daughter, aged about 8, simply had her head face down on the table. No interaction with the child at any time. The table right next to ours had 3 people seated at it, 2 of whom scrolled continually, whilst the third person stared into the distance. It's like people are physically there but not really present. What on earth are we doing to ourselves?
It is common though, isn't it? People just sat on their phones. There's more kids though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I
Have
wouldn't
you?
let-
Yeah.
I won't go on my phone if everyone else is on it because I'm like, all right, and I always make a joke like, oh, sociable bunch, something like that.
Yeah. But when
Oh,
you go
okay.
out with Chi and Harry, do you let Harry watch something whilst you can eat?
Only if he's aggro. If
Mm.
we just whack the iPad out if he's just being annoying. So
Yeah. Yeah, same with us.
you have to, 'cause
Yeah.
otherwise you try to entertain something that is impossible to entertain
Yeah.
without the
Yeah.
iPad.
Yep. A lot of people were obviously laying into this woman, saying, perhaps you should take your own advice, considering that you seem to have spent a considerable amount of time counting how many people were on their phones and monitoring the length of time that they used them. That's pretty
Yeah,
fair,
true.
though.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were just like trying to justify why they're on their phones, like they have to deal with sort of like admin, so they have to, quickly look at some emails. And a lot of people are just like, why is it any of your business what they do? Like just why don't you focus on your own dinner date and stop being so nosy?
Yeah. Yeah, it's people's prerogative, right? If they want to
Yeah.
sit on their phones, then, and if they don't feel awkward, then if she feels awkward, then that's her problem, right?
Yeah. It's just so many like busybodies, and she is definitely one of them.
That's mum's net.
That is mum's net. But yeah, like you said, we can go on forever. This
Yeah.
whew.
Oh god. I was just scrolling through again, so I'm gonna do one more. Fuck it.
Yeah,
Right.
go on.
On Twitter, there's this woman who's posted a picture of herself breastfeeding, right?
Oh, here we go.
Right, and it says a biological female feeding her baby with milk. That is exactly right. Feed your body wisely with organic food. Limit your exposure to toxins in the environment, including personal care products, and stay away from big pharma. The child will grow healthy. Oh, fucking hell. It's a bit of an anti-vax comment. That's all well and good if you can do it. Right, what else we got? Why are you posting porn?
Is it literally her breastfeeding?
Yeah, I shall try and get the photo up. Can you see that on the camera?
Yeah. I mean, that's not porn.
Yeah. What is it? Polio doesn't respect your organic food, neither does measles. In response to the farmer thing. This one said, everything about this picture is so perfect.
Yep.
Then the next one, fine, but do we all need to see it? Someone put, I don't know, but I'm hungry.
Oh no.
First time wishing to be a baby on the timeline.
Oh, just no.
I support the message, tits out, ladies. A woman said that, not a bloke.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
different when a man says that.
Yeah. It's great. It's just such a mix. I love it.
Yeah, such a mix. Oh, shit like that. Like she looked like she was perfectly, dressed for a photo shoot.
Yeah. Bit like people we see on Instagram.
Yeah.
If their life is so perfect with their kids, probably not. Straight after that photo, like babies on the floor, get off.
Yeah.
Not bottling from a carton.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe in the UK, not so much, but there are some old dinosaurs that don't like that.
Yeah, I mean, people just don't like it in public, don't they? It's the whole freedom thing now, isn't it?
I think it's just like it's not offensive. Maybe if you've got your full tit out and you're not actually breastfeeding, that's probably offensive.
I don't think people find it offensive. I think people just find it a bit uncomfortable. I think that's all it is, isn't it? Some people just don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's another topic, another debate.
Yes. Yeah. Moving on.
Yeah, cool. All right, so that was fun. So let's go on to the best and worst advice we've ever got. What would you say is the best piece of advice you ever received?
A lot of it is always around being a parent. I think the best advice is people telling me not to listen to anyone else.
It's funny that because you're actually listening to them. It's ironic.
Exactly. They're always like, oh, you know, any advice that you get about being a parent is all white noise. Like, you do you. Don't worry about what people tell you or how you should parent your own child.
Mm.
I think before I never really understood that. I'm just like, oh yeah, whatever. I'll definitely need your advice and whatnot. But actually, their advice doesn't work for me. Like, if they tell me to do a certain thing, like, oh, you know, you should sleep train your child, or they'll sleep much better. We did it with Mila at 10 months. Yeah, it worked for a bit. Now she's fucking co-sleeping with us. So no, wish I never took that advice to sleep train my child.
Mm. Yeah.
So yeah, I think the best advice is probably advice that I would tell myself. It's like, yeah, don't listen to anyone else.
Might as well just not talk about this bit then if we're talking about advice giving. Just don't listen to us.
Well, I mean, no, when it comes to being a parent, I mean,
Yeah, I get you.
anything else, you know, obviously listen. But yeah, being a parent is
Yeah.
hard, isn't it? Like, when you had Harry, did you get a lot of advice?
Yeah, but it's almost like you just don't. It's like in one ear out the other, right? It's just like I'm just gonna do it my own way.
Yeah.
It's all well and good saying this is how you do it, but then every kid's different. So how are you gonna
Mm.
can't apply the same rules to each kid?
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'd have a great
Yeah.
life.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's the difference between man and woman, or men and women, because you would be like in one ear out the other, whereas women would try to absorb it all, try to pick out bits that they can think, oh, you know, yeah, that's a good idea. But
Yeah.
for you, it's like, yeah, fuck off.
Yeah, true. I think Chi probably took most of the advice, and then
Mm.
I sort of learned it from Chi.
Yeah.
So that's how it works. She filters down a bit, and I put
Yeah.
my own spin on it.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
which is always the wrong way, obviously.
But then you find out the hard way by doing it yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Cool, that's a good one.
What about you?
Best piece of advice I got was probably work related.
Mm.
So in our industry, you can kind of, if you want a good pay rise, the best thing to do is just jump between different places.
Mm.
And someone told me that at a very early stage, and that's what I
Right.
did ever since. So every single, about after a year and a half, 2 years, I think the longest I was at somewhere was like 2.5. You just go to another place and get like a 10 grand bump.
Yeah.
And each time is like a 10 grand bump.
Yeah.
And then I gave that advice to my execs, and now they're doing the same thing. So I'm like, yeah. And I told me, Megan, she told me the other day, she's like,
Yeah.
oh, the best piece of advice you ever gave me was just to jump around when you're exec level. And now I'm earning well good money. I'll never forget that. I'm like, oh, I told you that like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. And now she's doing exactly what I said. I'm like, yeah. Fuck the system.
Yeah. From the wise man.
Yeah. And the worst piece of advice, again, work related, was saying just like stay in one place and just try and work hard and suck up to everyone to get where you want to be, which is probably how you do it. But no, it's just can't be dealing with that one. But if you've got
No, I don't think that works anymore.
Yeah, because it's just dependent on so many different variables. I think you learn that when you get more experience. You learn that it doesn't matter how hard you work, really. It's basically if there's a vacancy free and you're semi good at a job.
Yeah. Yeah, very true. It's like back at school, isn't it? If you want to get certain things, you have to do like extracurricular. Or sorry, if you want to get into a good uni, everything was it uni or whatever it is, like you have to do certain things. You can't just like study and do exams. You got to do extracurricular to get further than someone else.
Yeah, and you got to like go meet the teacher after like extra like one-on-ones with the teacher just to get you thinking, no, you won't work. But then probably looking back, it does work.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. But that's my best and worst for work related stuff.
What advice have you given someone? Like worst advice?
Oh, worst advice. Means I don't know if it's the worst advice because to me it's probably good advice.
Right. Fair. Yeah. Relationships, I think. Right? Like if your friend is going through something.
Yeah, I think this is the obvious one, isn't it? Like, so my mate went through quite a bad breakup recently. Like his missus had an affair and all sorts. And they got a kid. She's turning 4 in September, something like that. And we're just like, oh, just sack it off, mate. Just sack it off. Like, oh, she's a fucking idiot. all this shit. You know, the classic that's like trying to back your mate sort of thing. But
Yeah.
realistically, he's actually feeling really shit.
Yeah.
I mean, we should be there for him, trying to like just not comfort him per se, because it's the classic bloke thing, right? It's the stigma of blokes don't talk and all this sort of jazz.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say it's worst advice per se, because we are right in what we say. We say to him, "Oh,
Yeah.
you need to come out of us more" and all this stuff, because he doesn't really do that. He kind of just
Yeah.
he had his life with her down there, and then it all just basically crumbled down. Now he's moving back with his dad and sees his
Yeah.
kids like 3 times a week, whatever. So it's horrible for him.
Yeah.
So for us, we should be saying, then when we give him advice, but it's probably in a bit of a brutalist way almost. Why don't
Yeah.
you move out? Why don't you move out, get a place, go to? I always say to him, go. It's about give him good advice. Say, mate, you need something to focus on. Go to a gym. Like he loves golf, so start going golf every
Yeah.
Tuesday. Just that's good advice that I give him. But then he never takes it on board, so then we just all banter a bit. But
Yeah. It's hard, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
especially when he's still in that sort of trying to get over the grieving of the breakup.
yeah, and that's literally what it is. It's like losing someone, right?
Yeah.
Especially when there's a kid involved, which is the worst thing. If the kid wasn't there, it'd probably be 10 times easier. But
Yeah.
then he wouldn't
Yeah.
have his kid. So, yeah, tough one. Relationship advice is hard because my other mate's gone through breakups, and it's like, you say, "Oh yeah, you'll be right, mate. Don't worry about it. Like, let's go out for drinks."
That's such a bloke response.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah,
is that?
it's like,
Where's the emotions, man?
nah, so it doesn't work like that. She's pretty brutal with stuff like that as well. She'll just say it how it is,
Right.
and I think that's the Vietnamese mentality as well. You just get on with it. Don't show any fear or any sadness. It's probably like that in your culture as well. But
Yeah. Oh, Chinese people, Asians. Oh God, yeah, they're just it's not about there's no emotions in there, just very robotic. Because as soon as you show a bit of emotion, you think you're weak. But I wouldn't want that for Mila or Lara. I would gladly accept all their emotions, and they have a lot of emotions. So I'm just not gonna try and repress it. Not be like, oh, don't be sad. It's like, well, if you're sad, then you're sad. Like, let's talk about it.
Yeah. You don't want to go to like social media and finding some weird page.
Yeah.
Getting them influenced in a bad way.
Yeah, exactly. I think with me, like advice, I don't know. I guess my friends would tell me whether I give them advice or not. It's always hard, isn't it? Because unless someone explicitly asks me, "Can I get your advice?" then I'll be like, "Oh yeah, sure." But it's a lot of responsibility in it.
Yeah, depends how much they respect your advice, isn't it? Because if you can say the wrong thing, you're like, shit, I've just caused something bad to happen, or no, don't do that. You're almost just like, sometimes you got to take it with a pinch of salt, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Exactly. Don't take it literally for gospel.
Yeah. Tough one.
Yeah. So if anyone has given any advice or wants to give any advice to us on how to do a better pod, don't. Because
we're not going to
listen.
Yeah. Stop the podcast. Right.
Still going to carry on.
Yeah. Fuck you lot.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, and send us we'll come back to that, because I'll probably things with advice, you don't realise you give it out half the time.
No.
And you're like, I actually probably give out more advice in a day than I realise. Like even yesterday, like work and stuff, and telling people how to do certain things, and I know you should do it this way. That's my advice. That's not me.
Yeah.
Just the little things, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Whereas there probably isn't a right or wrong way, but that's just the way I do things.
Yeah.
Which is normally the shortcut way. So.
Yeah, that's true. And then you've given the advice, and it's like sort of take it or leave it sort of situation.
Yeah, literally, yeah. Cool. Right then. Well, let's revisit these, especially the the ridiculous comment stuff, because it's part of our everyday lives now. I didn't realise how much it actually is, and that's just stuff from today.
Yeah.
Like, going back like years and months or whatever.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, next week we're going to be discussing Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus. So that's going to be a touchy episode, because Jenny's going to get all arsey.
Why do you naturally assume that I'm gonna get nasty?
I'm just reading the blurb and I'm like, yeah, she's already kicking off.
Yeah, it's quite a bit. That's gonna be a
Yeah.
juicy one.
Yeah. Cool. All right, then looking forward to that one. So yeah, next week, episode 6, we'll be back, and we'll see you next Thursday.
Bye.
Bye bye.